Hi guys, just want to say I miss you, and here is our fourth story that we'll be reading aloud. So this is The Promise, and it is written by Nicola Davies. Okay, so it's called The Promise. Okay, so it's in a city. When I was young, I lived in a city that was mean and hard and ugly. Its streets were dry as dust, cracked by heat and cold, and never blessed with rain. A gritty yellow wind blew constantly, scratching around the buildings like a hungry dog. It doesn't sound very pretty, does it? Nothing grew. Everything was broken, and no one smiled. The people had grown as mean and hard and ugly as their city, and I was mean and hard and ugly too. I lived by stealing from those who had almost as little as I did. My heart was as shriveled as the dead tree in the park. And then one night, I saw an old lady down a dark street. She was frail and alone, an easy victim. Her bag was fat and full, and when I tried to snatch it from her, she held on with the strength of heroes. To and fro we pulled that bag until at last she said, "If you promise to plant them, I'll let go." What did she mean? I didn't know or care. I just wanted the bag, so I said, "All right, I promise." She loosened her grip at once and smiled at me. So that's the old woman. I ran off without a backward look, thinking of the food and money in her bag. So there's the little girl running. But when I opened it, the bag held only acorns. I stared at them, so green, so perfect, so many, and I understood the promise I had made. I held a forest in my arms, and my heart was changed. I forgot the food and the money, and for the first time in my life, I felt lucky, rich beyond my wildest dreams. I slept with the acorns as my pillow and my head full of leafy visions, and in the morning, I began to keep my promise. I planted beside roads, at rotaries, among rabble, ruins, and rusty railings, by train tracks, tram lines, and traffic lights. In abandoned parks and gardens laced with broken glass, behind factories and shopping malls, at bus stops, cafes, and apartment buildings. I pushed aside the mean and the hard and the ugly, and I planted. Nothing changed at first. The gritty wind was still scratched the parched, cracked streets. The people scowled and scuttled to their homes like cockroaches. But slowly, shoots of green beans started to show. So there, the green. Trees, first here and there, then everywhere. People came onto the streets to see. They touched the leaves in wonder and they smiled. They had tea together by the tiny trees. They talked and laughed. And pretty soon they were planting too. Trees and flowers, fruits and vegetables, in parks and gardens, on balconies and rooftops. Green spread throughout the city like a song, breathing to the sky, drawing down the rain like a blessing. But by then, I was already far away, planting in another sad and sorry city. And another. And another. And another. At last night, in a lonely alley, a young thief fought me for my sack of acorns. I smiled and made the old bargain, knowing how a heart can change, knowing that my planting will go on. So in the comments, go ahead and tell me your favorite part of this story. Okay? Bye, guys.